Hello and welcome or welcome back. It is a Flossmas number 7. A full week of December has gone by and we are in the middle of the Jingle Ball. I have had so much fun interacting with the other stitchers and I look forward to more hours of stitchy fun tonight and tomorrow. I hope that you are joining us for this Lindy Stitches event. But let's talk about my Advent stitches. It's actually been very helpful to be stitching with people online. I'm getting quite a bit finished. So, of course, the first thing we're going to talk about is the Evertote Roxy Floss Co. Modern Folk Embroidery Nordic Countdown Calendar. And this is today's picture. So what the words are saying here is that Jacob is inviting you to go to his floss tube so that he can introduce you to his hometown, Rotterdam, where, yes, you're in the Netherlands, but there are hints of Scandinavia there too. Now, Carrie at Roxy Floss Co. has given us this lovely variegated thread called Kiss Kiss. This is such a fun color. I'm looking forward to having some left over so that I can use it in future projects. Now, this is where my stitch is so far. So the Kiss Kiss was in the shoes and that maybe those are flowers. Initially, those looked like stands or plungers of some sort. This definitely, with these looking like shoes, seems to be a girl's silhouette. I still think perhaps a cheerleader, but we need some faces sometime. And of course, we were putting in what appears to be the top of a tree, which would mean these are birds, not frogs. So there we have day 7 fully stitched and most of the called for colors in the places where they're expecting. I did go back to this redwood for what I believe to be the tops of trees. Now, I could be proven wrong. I guess we find out a little bit more tomorrow. One of the presenters, designers for the Jingle Ball was Cheryl of the Tiny Modernist, and I just watched her chat and answer questions. She was delightful as ever. And of course, I'm doing the Tiny Modernist Advent banner. Now, I was thinking that we were going to be going down the middle of the stitch today, and I was right. And I did not hazard a guess, but it will be a familiar, somewhat iconic motive. Look at that, the little red truck with, I'm just going to bring it closer, the Christmas tree. Now, I find it interesting that the Christmas tree already has lights on it, even when it's in the tree, in the back of a truck, but that's okay. So, yeah, this is really looking nicely balanced. I like what she's doing with the colors. And I'm wondering if tomorrow we end up with something going all the way across, since that seems to be the pattern for how this is. And you'll see this is the full width. I have more, it even wraps around. So I've got lots of this glorious jade material to play with after my Advent days are finished here. And I forgot to say that the Roxy Floss Co fabric for my Nordic countdown was a 20 count glacier. In that, I'm using 1 strand of Roxy floss, and in this, I'm using 2 strands of DMC. Now, I also made progress on Modern Folk Embroidery, Jacob's Cozy Christmas Cabin. I discovered I was missing a C in my title, the cabin word. So I did put in a little bit more than 200 stitches again. So you can see that the word merry is starting to evolve, and that I definitely have more of this house in place. A little bit more up here, not much. So I'm at about 44% now with this particular piece. We will be ending up finishing this side of the house and having a tree on this side, but that's going to take some time. This is 22 count white Aida, and this is variegated red number 115 of DMC. Spirit of Christmas by Textilly. You have seen me finish piece, and we were well on the way with our joy bauble. And I am happy to say that I do have the joy bauble stitched. Now, yesterday I was debating whether I would do these in green or gold. What I have done, and shows more in person, is that here I'm using 2 strands of the Christmas green, and for these 2 diamonds, I used 1 strand just to make it a little bit less intense. And of course, the word joy in the center. So this one is ready for fully finishing. I'm not sure whether I'm going to fully finish it right away or whether I'm just going to say I'm going over on the piece of fabric to do the love bauble. Now, in the area of finishing, I finished the amount of tortoise tower that I am planning to do. So there is no outline, and there's one little bug that I left out up there. I think this is adorable. I can picture wanting to stitch it again because I'm sure I will give this away. Now those little, when you get up close, you can see that those are little flowers that seem like floral confetti. And this, of course, is a variegated blue. And we are assuming this is not a real turtle the way I did it, because while there are blue turtles, they don't look like this. And in the area of fully finishing today, I will say that when I am working on zooms, I do like to do fully finished actions, because if I'm doing counting, I frequently count wrong if I'm having conversations with lots of people. So by just having everything set up for the fully finished item, I find it easier to complete something accurately. And of course, I needed to keep going forward with my fully finishing actions. So the first thing that I did this morning was make a Christmas Quaker. So this Quaker is the center of one of the 1 Dozen Quakers by Rosewood Manor. And in here where they had stitches, I put beads. And for the people that I met in the last 24 hours, yes, I did this beading as I went. And then I added these beads as my finishing element. that stitched the back to the front. Now, several people at Jingle Ball have asked me to do a separate tutorial on how I do this beading. So I am happy to do that. I do believe that we have 5 Sundays this month. I could be wrong, but I think I'm right. So that means there will be a tutorial at the end of this month, and I have another tutorial up my sleeve that I owe Andrew the Runner Stitcher. Now, you have seen my 12 Days of Christmas Stockings by Annie B's Folk Art. Number 1, I finished back in the summer when I was demonstrating all of these different ways that you can actually finish these stockings. This is the hard ornament finish. There is 3 layers of comic book board inside here, 2 under the front, which I laced onto it, and 1 under the backing fabric, which I laced onto that one, and then I simply blanket stitched around the outside. So we had seen 1 before. Now, you are used to me going in order, and no, I did not. So 2 is not the next one I finished. Here is 7. Here is 11. So 7 was 7 Swans a Swimming. 11 Drummers Drum, no, it isn't. 11 Lords a Leaping, I think. And 12 Drummers Drumming. So I think I did pretty good to fully finish 3 stockings and a Quaker, and my day is not done yet at the Jingle Ball. All right, so today in my moment of thanks, I'm going to be thankful for something that may have been perceived that I've already included here, but I want to highlight. I am thankful for my husband, who supports my stitching, my happiness, and is encouraging me to make these videos for you. Each of us that does Flosstube needs a cheerleader in the background as we're asking for silence as we do our videoing, and indeed work on multiple projects at the same time. I do consider myself lucky. I met my husband when I was 14 and he was 16. And yes, I did pick him out across a crowded room. Married him at 21. And we've been together over 40 years in marriage. And because we were together for 7 years ahead of getting married, we've really hit the 50-year mark as a couple. And I'm quite proud of that achievement, and so happy that the love is as deep as it is. So I hope for each of you that you have a partner that is as supportive as mine is. Now, yesterday's melody, everyone did very well. It was indeed Santa Claus is Coming to Town, and everyone seemed to like my story about getting sheet music in my stocking on Christmas Day. Today, I have a piece for you that will start possibly in a surprising way, but I do believe that the melody is very well known. This is one of the few Christmas carols that we hear each year sung in a minor key instead of major. There's the perception that major keys are happy and minor keys are sad, but I think you will hear in the playing of this particular piece that even though it's a minor key, there is joy in the song. Please enjoy. And thank you for joining me today. I know we are all very, very busy. So many of these Flossmas videos for you to choose between. And indeed, this weekend, we have the Jingle Ball to attend as well. So thank you to everybody who has chatted with me at the Jingle Ball and been excited for my progress with my channel. I truly appreciate it, and I hope to see more of each of you in the next 24 hours. Happy stitching, everyone.